All right, joining us now, she is now a three-time NFCA Pitcher of the Week award winner this season. First pitcher to do it three times since Shelby Turnier of UCF in 2015. The last player to do it in the NFCA was the great Rachel Garcia in 2018 when she did it as a hitter and as a pitcher. Just give it pretty good air. She's also been a D1 softball weekly winner this year. She's been a lot of winners. Not that we're even going to get into all the Patriot League awards she's won, including the reigning one in the Rookie of the Year last year, and certainly having a monster year for BU, leading to the top 25 this year. I speak of Kasey Ricard joining us here, the sophomore here on In the Circle on D1 softball. How you doing?
I'm very good. How are you?
Doing good. What has this season been like for you and the team? I mean, you've been rolling. You've been now in the top 25 here for a little while. How would you describe 2024 so far?
2024 as a team has been a lot of fun. We've just been kind of picked up where we left off last season. We got some new faces this year. We got 5 new freshmen, and then we basically had the whole team from last year. So it's kind of just picking up and just continuing to have fun along the way and keeping our confidence high throughout the season and just taking every game one game at a time, every pitch at a time, and just focusing on the little things.
As we record this, you are the reigning NFCA Pitcher of the Week. You won it again for a third time. What's it been like winning these national awards like you have? You've won like I said, the NFCA D1 softball you throughout the year. What's it been like for you?
It's been kind of surreal. I think every time that my coaches told me, I have to clarify with her and be like, "Are you sure? Like, what did I do this week?" Like, and she's just like, "No, it's you again." Like, and we've just been really excited and just taking it and soaking it in while we can and just keep working off of it and working for something else.
Do you remember the first time you were awarded with the national award? Your reaction the first time?
My reaction the first time, I remember my coach, she told my parents before she told me, and then she told me at practice, and I was like, "Are you serious? National Pitcher of the Week? I don't think that was never a thought in my mind that I could even have the possibility of winning it once, not even twice." So the fact that I've gotten it 3 times is just really special to me, and I'm just really thankful for everyone that's been believing in me this season.
You had a great rookie year last year as a freshman. So let's mention that you were the rookie of the year in the Patriot League. You were first team All Region. You were first team All Conference. So you had a great year last year, and yet it feels like you've taken it to a different level. What has been the difference this year from last year?
I think this year is just now I'm not a freshman anymore. And I mean, I've had both of the staff hasn't changed since last year. So me, Allie B, and Lizzie, like we all just really love pitching with each other. And I think just having another year to build confidence with each other and just work together and support each other no matter what circumstance we're facing pitching wise as a staff, I think just having each other and being able to work together has been something that has helped our pitching staff go like keep continuing to grow from last year.
Let's talk about the team. Let's start with the rest of the pitching staff and then your offense. Describe, for those that maybe haven't seen your team, the pitching staff around you as well as the offense that you have.
Me, Allie B, and Lizzie are, I think, they are definitely the closest pitching staff I've ever been a part of. We all love playing together. We have our secret little handshakes that we do. We have our little sayings we say to each other. In the bullpen, we just have fun the whole time. Nothing's ever a well, we have friendly competition, like games and stuff during practice, but nothing's ever like a battle between us. We always support each other. When I'm pitching, I know they have my back. When they're pitching, I know I have their back. We're always ready for each other. And it's just been really great to come in as a freshman and now continuing to have them again for a sophomore season. It's just been amazing to have their support and encouragement and us just being able to grow together and dominate in the circle. And then our offense, I think, is one of I think our offense is overlooked sometimes since our defense plays so well. We have a very tight defense. Our offense, I think, has gotten tremendously better than last year, even though we're the same team basically as last year. I think everyone's just more confident and everyone's just taking their hacks this year when stepping into the box. We have a new freshman that's joined the lineup, Kylie Doherty. She's been hitting some bombs this season. And then we have our top three hitters in the lineup, Kayla, Lauren, and Kate Coker, and they're just continuing to succeed and rise. They never feel like that they're doing enough, but we always, as a team, feel like they're what sets the tone for us during games. And when Kels starts off with a leadoff double, we always know it's going to be a good game. So I think just having the confidence to keep growing and knowing that it's a lot of people on the team's last season, that we're all just trying to enjoy it and have fun while we can.
Who are maybe like some of the vocal leaders on the team, or maybe a leader that you feel sets the tone with the team?
I feel like Caitlin Coker and Lauren Kelleher have definitely been big leaders on the team from a vocal standpoint. Everyone, um, whenever they say something to anyone, everyone takes it to the next level, and they try and always make everyone on the team better. They definitely lead by example. And another big voice, at least for me, is Audrey behind the plate. This is my second season with her, and I owe her a lot for just giving me the confidence, even when it might not be my day. So I think having those three big leaders on the field have definitely been successful or key to our success this season.
One of the things that's impressed me having watched you play, you and the team, but you specifically, is you haven't had like the most ideal weather at times during the season. A case in point, the most one of the most recent games I just watched was the Stonehill game, where it looked gloomy and it was weather, but you all weren't phased by it. Like it doesn't matter. It seemed like it didn't matter what the weather could have been. You guys play at your best level. Just describe that, some of the elements, because you've traveled all over and played in the South, you've played in the Northeast and all that, but it just seems doesn't matter what the elements are. You all play still at a high level. How?
We all are definitely kind of used to it now since we're based out of New England. So we practice when it's 40 degrees out, when it's 80 degrees out. We never know what it's going to be when we show up to the field. So we always know that we have to be focused and just trying to work our hardest. Since we have been able to practice in it, we definitely look forward to preseason when it's nice and sunny always down there. And then the rain up here recently has been canceling a lot of games, but so whenever we get out on the field, we want to make the most of it and try and play our best softball that we can. Growing up in New England, I think I'm definitely more used to playing in the cold or the rain or the snow even. So I think I've kind of learned how to pitch in it, but all of our whole staff kind of knows how to pitch in it now from being able to or from having to play in the snow and the rain and the 30-degree weather days here.
Is there a key to being successful in the cold as a pitcher in the elements like that? Because I've heard some people, pitchers say they struggle with the grip in cold weather. It takes them a while to get used to. Is there a key to being successful that you had to learn?
It's definitely trying to keep your hands as dry as possible so you are able to grip the ball. Yesterday, for example, it was like downpouring the whole game, so we had our rotation of balls just coming in and out. I had a rag, I had like hand warmers in my pockets, just trying to keep it so I can feel my fingertips as a pitcher. But I think overall, just playing in the cold, use the keys just to staying warm and just focusing on getting in and out of an inning as quick as possible. You want to get those outcomes for your defense, and then if you want to get ahead in the count as much as possible as a pitcher in that scenario.
Well, you've mastered that very well. Good job. Uh, we're speaking with Kasey Ricard here on In the Circle on D1 Softball. Let's get to know you a little bit. What got you interested playing softball growing up?
Um, to be honest, it was more of a social aspect. A lot of my friends were playing softball growing up. I started with t-ball when I was like 7 or 8, and my friend's mom, who used to babysit me, was coaching at the time, so I just kind of would tag along with them and start playing softball that way. And then they joined club teams, and so I joined a club team in order to just hang out with my friends more. And kind of still why I'm doing it today, just to hang out with my friends and just have a good time away from school and the rest of the world.
I would say that's worked out pretty well. That's good. Social deal. When did you feel? Did you know? Hey, softball. This is for me. This is what it's meant. I'm meant to play softball.
I would say probably in like middle school, maybe like seventh or eighth grade. Growing up, I really didn't like pitching, to be honest.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't start like pitching probably until 14U, and I was just afraid of the pressure. I didn't like having the whole team have to rely on me, but now my parents have kind of taught me like it's something to value that like people want to trust you in those situations. And so after that, once I started just having confidence in myself, I grew to love pitching, and now I barely want to get taken out ever. I want to be in every situation possible, and I can only thank my parents and my coaches for keep putting me in those situations. So now I'm just used to it.
That's remarkable. So you didn't want to be a pitcher because you didn't want to handle all that expectations that comes with being a pitcher, the responsibilities, and you got over that, and now you embrace it. You love it. That's an incredible story. I did not know that you started that late. Like, do you sometimes wonders like, man, why did it take me so long? I couldn't believe at one point I didn't want to do this. This is fun.
Yeah, I remember, and I mean, I was really young at this point, but in 12U, I think I would tell my coach to take me out in the seventh inning because I didn't want anything to happen when I was on the mound. So I think just having my parents just always telling me just to work my hardest and always just putting a little bit of pressure on me, coming up with fake scenarios in the backyard with your dad on the bucket, saying it's a tie game, you got to strike this person out. And just made me more successful as a person and a player just to deal with pressure situations.
Did you have any athletes you looked up to?
When I was growing up, I loved watching Michigan softball. I was a big fan of Megan Betza and the
Okay.
Sophia Romero era. And so I would always watch them playing. And my pitching coach, I think she kind of looked like Megan Betza. So I was kind of starstruck at that point. So um growing up, I would watch them, and I just loved how composed on the mound they were, and I felt like nothing could bother them, and so I just tried to have some fake confidence for a while growing up, and now I think I finally like from my teammates encouraging me and like my coaches just telling me like we trust you, like we want you. I think it's been very helpful in allowing me to grow as a player and a person.
So you didn't start till really 14, you said.
Yeah, I was like third base pitcher up until 14U, and then when I joined the Polar Crush organization, um, my coaches Jim Carbone and Walter Babcock were like, we need you as a pitcher. You should continue to pitch." And I'm like, "Okay, sounds good to me."
And I think it sounds good to everybody else. So take me through the process of how you ended up coming to going to BU.
So I was kind of a COVID kid with recruiting wise. In eighth grade, I mean, I started going to camps and everything. I never actually went to one in Boston. I never thought I wanted to be this close to home, but I love it now. And being recruited in COVID in Massachusetts, the laws were that we weren't allowed to, our travel organization wasn't allowed to go out of Massachusetts. So we kind of stayed local in like tournaments like 10 minutes away from my house. And so it was just kind of reaching out over Twitter and Instagram and YouTube and all of those little clips that you'd have to edit by yourself. But my current pitching coach, Robin King, she played at BU, and she was like, "Have you ever thought about BU as a school or just going for softball?" And I was like, to be honest, like I never really like thought about it like going this close. I thought I wanted to go down south to like a school in Florida or something, but where it was warm. But after talking with her about her experiences at BU and how much she loved it, I was like, I'll look into BU, and I started reaching out to Coach Waters, and my organization, the Polar Crush, actually had some connections to BU as well. So kind of reached out that way. And then Coach found me on Twitter, and she still calls me her Twitter recruitment today, that my pitching coach would stand behind and would catch for me while filming and just show her videos to see that I could pitch, since she never actually saw me in person.
This is incredible. Right, that was a weird time. Were you nervous during that time? The fact they couldn't see you in person, or did you like that? Because it sounded like you had to be creative to get yourself noticed.
I personally didn't like the fact I wasn't very good with like posting stuff all the time, and like having to send even more emails on top of the ones you would have to send even before COVID hit. And so I think adjusting to having to move everything to online, like I never even got an official visit to BU because of COVID, and I never got to really go on campus officially and see the field. Or I did get to talk to Coach a lot though, on the phone and on Zoom, but I never really met her in person until after I committed. So uh,
Wow.
we all just kind of took a bet on each other, and we both love it now. So
Do you remember the first time you talked to her?
I do. We've probably started talking a couple months after September 1st, my junior year. And I just remember she sounded like the most amazing person ever. She was very vocal, energetic, kind. She literally talked to me about my dog for a while on the phone. She was very easy to talk to, and is such a kind person to talk to, and just she'll talk about anything with you and just make you feel welcomed at the school. And what she was explaining to me, the team dynamic and everything, is just really sounded like a fit for what I wanted.
Yeah, she loves dogs. You knew that was going to get her going, for sure. Describe playing for her. She's obviously had incredible success, middle of this incredible run here at BU. What's it been like playing for her, and why has she built such a successful program?
um Coach is a very she'll tell you directly what you're doing wrong, what you need to work on. And I think that transparency between like our feedback and her feedback is what allows her to build such a successful program. She always asks us how we're feeling, what we need, and she doesn't push us to the breaking point. Like we always have a balance of what we know that we need and what we need to do. And she's a very strong leader. I would say she always like makes known what she wants and what she expects of us, but she does it in a way that makes you want to work up to that expectation. I always want to make her proud or make her happy, and I always want to show her that I'm capable of what she committed me to do. And so I think her just having a presence on the field of someone that you can talk to and tell anything to, and just help you out on the field and off the field. I think that trust is really crucial to her success.
So you come in, you get to campus. What do you remember the first time you actually stepped on campus?
The first time I stepped on campus, I believe it was over the summer before my freshman year. So it was like once the restrictions lifted and everything, I came and visited with another girl in my class, lived along, and we got to campus, and coach just came in with open arms and was like, well, like just how she is now every day at practice, big smile on her face. All the girls that I met that day were just amazing and really showed me what it was like to play for a family in this organization.
Describe being a student athlete, because at BU you truly are a student athlete. It's one of the best schools out there in the country. What's it like being a student, as well as being a player at BU?
The academics are definitely a big part to what drew me to BU as well. I want to be a physician assistant in the future, and so having a good degree out of BU would just be amazing in my success in the future. And so being a student athlete here, academics definitely come first. We like they come first before softball, but in my mind, I have them kind of equal since I love softball and I just always want to play. And so academics definitely comes first though with coach. You have to keep good grades, go to your classes, get extra help if you need. We have a lot of resources here for extra help. And it's definitely hard to balance, though. A lot of studying hours, I think, more than a typical school, just with how hard the courses are here. And everyone on the team kind of has similar majors, though, so we're all able to help each other out. And like if we ever have a question, there's always someone on the team that will hopefully be able to answer it. And so I think just helping each other out and getting through one semester at a time is just how we kind of run around here.
Fair. You're as a team, you win 52 games last year, and you win back the Patriot League championship. You beat Lehigh. You know, Lehigh was a team that was in the contention. You beat the Army in the championship. Describe that feeling of winning that conference championship there in your first year.
Um, it was very exciting since it was something we talked about. That moment was what we talked about from our first practice. I remember coach, our first practice, came out and said, this is our revenge tour almost since we didn't win the year before. And as a freshman, I think that was something that like kind of gave me a wake up call that I was like, okay, I'm focusing in not only for myself, but for these girls who should have won it last year and didn't end up coming through in the end. So I think that whole season we just focused on winning it for ourselves, only focusing on what we're doing and just trying to get to that point again and just being champions again. And I think throughout the Patriot League tournament, like we would just go one game at a time, one win at a time, and just trying to keep building off of that. And then when we actually won, it was kind of like, wow, we actually accomplished what we were looking forward to since the moment I stepped on campus, and just seeing how happy the everyone above me who didn't get to experience it last year was, I think was something that was very rewarding for me in a sense that they got to finish what they started the year before.
What was it like to see your name pop up on TV on the selection show? You knew it was coming. That's the beauty, so you could relax. It's not like you're nervous whether you're in or not, but you get in and you go to Athens Regional. Describe that all that experience.
Um, I think being a freshman, it was kind of scary looking to see where we were going to go just because I'd never been to a stadium of that caliber before, or even like you grow up watching all of the Power Five schools on TV since those were the only ones that were streamed at the time. And you just dream of getting to play on the same field as them one day. And then just seeing your name pop up and that you're going to Georgia and that you're going to be in the same stadium where they've played and where you've watched on TV. It was kind of surreal. Like I remember showing up at the field in Georgia and being like, wow, this is something else. And just seeing like how many stands they had, just their facilities in general. It was just an amazing experience to get to have as a freshman.
What will you from that experience? What will you take from it if you get back? There's a lot of softball to go, a lot of your career, but if you get back to the regional, what will you take from that experience that you're going to keep in the back of your mind for the next time?
I think from going to Georgia last year, all my nerves are kind of shaken out now. I mean, getting to play in the tournament is just an exceptional accomplishment for any team. And so I think being there once now, I kind of know that anyone can get there if they work hard enough. And so I think just keeping that mentality that we all have to play the same number of games in order to get there. We all put a uniform on. We all practice the same number of days a week pretty much. We all like have the same preparation. It's just who wants it more, and keeping that mentality that anyone can win a softball game on any day. So I think even though they might have a big name behind them, that anyone can win any game.
At the end of last year, you got ranked in the polls in the NFCA. This year, you've been pretty much ranked the whole most of the year, if not the whole year, or most of the year. in multiple polls. Do you remember the first time y'all found out you were being ranked? And have you gotten accustomed to that? I mean, that's a big benchmark for the program to get ranked. And the fact that now you're consistently ranked and nobody blinks, the fact that you're ranked speaks to the respect and what you've accomplished that people now, oh, yeah, BU. Yeah, they're one of the 25 best teams. We that makes sense. What's that like?
I remember the first time we got ranked last year. We were all up in the weight room and someone goes, "Oh my gosh, you guys are in the top 25." And we all literally like let out a scream. We were so excited. And I think it's just a testament to what Coach Ashley has built and what the program's been built on. The program has been good for many years, and all of the people before me, that was just like kind of highlighting what they've accomplished and what this program has accomplished as a whole. Like our whole team worked hard and teams before us worked hard. Like before I got here, the softball team beat Oklahoma one year. Like they had all these wins leading up to this year and last year where we were able to just break it open and just show that BU's been playing for a while, but now it's finally recognized.
Well, and I think you made a statement early in the year when you went to Charlotte, beat them twice in their own backyard. You beat Canisius, who made the tournament last year. And I remember even in your first loss of the season against Duke, a lot of people were even impressed. They kept you in the polls. What do you remember about that fast start? Because I think you all made a statement early in the season.
I think this season was just so far it's been about just playing every team to the best of our ability. And that the games we know that the games that we lost, we could have played better, but we still, even the fact that we all of our losses have been in such close range, even that early in the season was just a real highlight to how hard our team's been working and what the future holds. Like hopefully now, even though we didn't beat Duke or South Carolina or Northwestern, maybe that'll be in the cards in the future. So hopefully we can just keep playing our game of softball and it'll come to us later in the season now.
I know the South Carolina game is not the way you would have liked it to have turned out, but you got to face Elena Vaughter, who's one of the best out there, and matched pitch for pitch. It was an exciting game. What's it like when you're in a game like that, in a pitcher's duel against a great player like Elena Vaughter as a team and, individually?
Um, Alana Vaughter is a great pitcher. I watched her last year in the World Series, and so being able to be on the same field as her and just play against her was just amazing. I think in those moments I get really dialed in, and I just don't really care about what the other team's doing so much as what I'm doing. And then afterwards, you look at it and you're like, wow, our team battled and we were so close. We just like had a couple at bats, couple defensive miscues, couple pitching miscues that could have changed the game. And so I think our goals for the rest of the season now after playing our playing our softball in preseason is just to keep playing our game and keep playing a clean game and trying to have limit those amounts of mistakes, even if they're not marked as errors. Like we know what our capabilities of playing. And so in order to play our best game, we have to keep limiting those mistakes.
Right, because one of the reasons I know in talking to Coach Waters on the show, she schedules those games to get you ready for games like the conference season and conference tournament and postseason. That's the whole key is to learn from that really quick. But as a pitcher, is there anything more exciting than like a pitcher's duel? What's it like when you're involved in a pitcher's duel in general?
I remember earlier this season, during Charlotte, our pitching coach, Coach Alley, came up to me and goes, "This is a pitcher's duel. Whoever wants it more is gonna win." And that just kind of stuck with me in the sense of that I want it more. I want the ball. I want to win. And so her saying that to me, and whenever you're in a pitching duel and your offense isn't producing or the other team's offense, and but our defense is making great plays and we're getting outs and it's just battle after battle. I think having someone say that to you is just key to just continuing to pitch even though no results are coming from it. So our team's done a great job at hitting consistently. And so I know in those games when it's tough to get runners on, it's tough to, even if we're hitting the ball hard, but it's just being hit to people, we just need that one hit that'll drop. Being a pitcher in that situation just makes me want to work harder for them and makes me want to get us back in the lineup just to get on the hitting train again and get some runs across. And so just working hard for them, I think, is what I think about in a pitcher's duel.
Do you remember the game, and maybe it's one of your favorite games, where you knew I belong here. I could be successful at this level.
I think last year when we played Baylor was kind of when I knew that I was going to be successful. Just in the fact that I knew my team believed in me at that point and that everyone was rooting for me every inning. The pitchers, Allie B and Lizzie behind me had my back. They were like, we know you can do this, but we got you in case you need us. And I think just once that confidence, I mean, it's been instilled in me since the day I got here that we work together. We all want each other to succeed and we love each other in that way. And so I think during that game, I got hit with a ball coming back at me during that game. And I just remember seeing Allie B and Lizzie running out and like just getting ready to have my back. And I think that's when I knew that I was going to be successful because I knew there's going to be people behind me and the offensive standpoint, my my team was going to have me in that sense. And so I think knowing that the weight of the world doesn't fall just on my shoulders as a pitcher, but having everyone work together around us is key to like being successful in that sense.
Pretty good turning point. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. You've had a lot of great games already in your career. Is there one that you like more than the others that stands out?
um, I would say the Baylor game has
That
always
one really that really meant a lot to you, didn't it?
that one meant a lot to me, just in the fact that it was such a tough played game and it was our first ranked win of the
Yeah,
season that year. And so I think being a freshman, that one really stuck with me for a while.
that's pretty good. That's when I first got to know, learn about you. Trust me. I mean, I remember I had talked to coach. Who is this freshman pitcher? Oh, yeah, she's gonna be pretty good. My last question to you. You've been so kind. Describe Kasey Ricard, the player, and Kasey Ricard, the person. For those that don't know you, how would you describe Kasey Ricard, the player, and Kasey Ricard, the person? For those that are wondering, what's Kasey Ricard like?
I think as a player in the dugout or whenever I step on the field, I'm someone that's always very happy and I'm always running around just like talking to everyone I can. I'm having fun at practice no matter the situation. Even if I'm having a bad day, I'm always cheering for everyone else. But in games, I'm the same way, but I'm also a competitor. I love facing people who are supposed to be better than me, who have better stats than me. I love just competing and being able to face competition that's seen as better than me. And as a person, I would say I think about I think about I do think about softball a lot, but I also think about my teammates as a person as well, how they're feeling on the field, and how they're feeling outside the field. I'm very aware of people's um, actions and emotions, and I just love helping people out. I would do anything for any of my teammates, and I'm sure they would do the same for me. And just creating friendships and just having fun in that sense, I think, is what makes me as a person.
It's pretty good, and it's working out really well. And you're a great pitcher, and you have all the accolades to back that up. You're one of the best, and you're fun to watch and fun to talk to. Thank you so much for taking the time. I know it's kind of a hectic time with the scheduling and everything like that, but to take a little time to talk to us because I definitely want to get people to get to know you because you've been remarkable start to your career. You got a lot of softball to go. Good luck the rest of the year. Send our best to our good Coach Waters. She's a good friend of the show.
I will.
You make sure you give her a little tease there that tell her you topped her as far as better interviews. No, just fine.
Yeah.
But thanks for doing
Yeah.
this. Good luck the rest of you. I'll be following you, and maybe we'll do this again down the road. But in the meantime, thanks for talking to us here on In the Circle and D1 Softball.
Thank you so much for having me.